Before we dive into the podcast today, you can have a chance to win one free Legion Athletic supplement, compliment of your boy Eric. All you have to do is head over to our Instagram and or our TikTok at Eric Roberts Fitness Pod, and you just need to comment under that post, tagging a friend, and you'll be entered to win the free supplement giveaway. That's all you gotta do. Just go over to the post. There's gonna be a post. You'll see it on the page that will say giveaway, free Legion supplement, something along those lines. Click that post, comment under with one person who you want to listen to the podcast. And if you do that, we will be picking one person to win a free Legion Athletics supplement.
And we started this last week, so whoever already commented, you'll still have an entry. We're just switching it up this week, so we're extending it one more week.
Correct, because we put it at the end and not the beginning, and that was my bad. So we will put it in the beginning, and then we will get more people to do it as well. So yes, stay tuned to next week's podcast to be tuned in. If you've ever wondered how to eat and train like an athlete, that's exactly what we're going to talk about in today's podcast. And we're recording this podcast while Argentina is playing who?
England.
Who's winning?
England. No one. 0-0. But Spain won yesterday against France, which was crazy. I thought France was going to win. So whoever wins today will go to the final.
Nice. Against Spain.
Against Spain, yeah.
Let's go.
And last year it was France to Argentina, or not last year, but 4 years ago. So I thought it was going to be the same, but I kind of like that it's not the same.
Okay. Cool.
No offense.
Yeah, Argentina's good, right? Like, some people hate them. Apparently, I made a video about Messi. And
controversial. Why is that?
Dude, I was like, I don't know, man. I just saw the video. It had 100 million views. I'm like, wow, I should just probably stitch this and
Holy
just make
shit.
a video.
I think it's like people think there's favoritism with
Messi.
Oh my god, there was almost a goal. Sorry. See, like we're almost like Eric's gonna be running the podcast today. I'm watching the game.
Yeah.
I think everyone thinks that there's favoritism towards Argentina, so I think that's the whole debate. I'm a fan.
Okay.
I'm a fan. Love him. He's cool. He's iconic.
Yeah, I apparently he is. Yeah, I mean him and Ronaldo are like the two best, right?
He lives in Miami.
I know he does. He lives. You know where he lives? I know where he lives.
I know he has a condo, and I know he has a house.
He has a condo in Sunny Isles.
Sunny Isles. Oh my god,
Dude,
that's
yeah.
so funny.
You know the Porsche. You know the Porsche building. We drove by.
Is that the circular one? Is that the circular?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
so okay, wait. I looked into this the other day. So apparently that building, and I'm sure other buildings, like there's an elevator that goes specifically to your floor. Because I was like, okay, so do people run into Messi? Or like, I guess anyone that lives there is a high profile individual, obviously.
Correct.
But that was cool. Yeah, they have their own elevators.
Yeah, that's cool, man. It's cool.
Very cool stuff.
Well, yeah. So that is why we're going to be talking today about how to eat and train like an athlete. And dude, really quickly, I think this is a meta. I just caught that if anybody was watching on YouTube. That was super sick. But a meta lesson that hopefully people can take. Dude, I went to Mexico this past weekend. It was great. Fun time. Whatever. It was, of course, it was great. Like, just you can see I'm super tan right now, so like super great.
Dude, I noticed when I was editing the other podcast, I was like, damn.
Yeah. Yeah, this dude got freaking dark. I have two meta lessons. The first one, I'll be vulnerable and share this. And I put this in our Clubhouse Facebook group, and I believe I sent an email on this, but I want to go a little bit more in depth. This past weekend was the first time in my adult life. So I would say after like 18, because from 18 until now, I've been like fucking dialed. I have been doing very well with my health and fitness, my body image, like all that sort of stuff, right? And of course I'm not perfect, but like I was good. This past weekend was the first time in my adult life that I took my shirt off and I looked around at the other people and I was like, bro, you don't even stand a chance next to these other dudes who are jacked. And some people are going to sit there and say, oh, you shouldn't compare yourself. Comparison is the thief of joy. I'm not like mad about myself, but like, I'm like, yo, this is unacceptable. Like you don't like, there were dudes at this resort. Apparently like everyone's just jacked there. And so I'm like, yo, these people are like fucking big. They're big, they're shredded, they got fucking abs. And I'm like, you don't even compare right now, Eric. Like what the fuck are you doing? Like it honestly just made me, and not to say it made me uncomfortable or it made me like anxious or like any of that, but I was just more like mad at myself that I was like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you're the fitness guy. What this should not be happening right now. And so that was the first time in my adult life that I've ever experienced that. And yeah, so I came home, not punishing myself, not in a bad way, but I'm like, you gotta get your fucking shit together, man. Like, you gotta fucking dial in. You gotta get your shit together. That should never happen ever again in your life. You should never take your shirt off and think you don't, like, at least hold. I'm not gonna ever be, you know, the most fit guy ever, but like, you should be able to take your fucking shirt off and you should be able to feel good about yourself. You shouldn't feel bad. And so that will never happen again. I can tell you that right now. I got back home on Monday and I started tracking my calories again. I'm going to go into a slight calorie deficit, and it's going to be tough because I do still want to train for my high rocks and fuel for that. And that's only about 8-ish weeks away. So like, I don't have a lot of time to do that, but I got to drop some body fat. I got to look better. It's unacceptable where my standard was. I have to much raise that standard, and that needs to be my bare minimum moving forward. So that's a vulnerable moment, but I want to share that with you guys because, number one, it's okay to want to improve yourself. It's okay to compare yourself and be like, shit, I'm not doing the things that I should be doing. It's not like, oh, I got to look like that person. I'm just like, I didn't look like how I looked because I wasn't putting in the work. That's what really pissed me the fuck off. And I was like, no more. So that is a number one. Anything you like to say before I go to number two?
Yeah, so many thoughts. It's really interesting to hear you say everything you just said, because it makes me realize that you're just human like we all are. Because I'm gonna be really honest. I feel like you're being really hard on yourself. I looked at your pictures. You look fit. You're not overweight. You're not obese. You just look like someone that's like a normal man. You also didn't plan this vacation. It was kind of like up in the air. So to hear you say this is unacceptable, to me, it's kind of like, well, number one, I think you were doing a bulk for some time there. Number two, you were not doing a deficit, or like you were not planning this vacation. Otherwise, you would have taken different actions had it been something that you were leading up to. So I feel like you're being hard on yourself, but I can understand that that was a moment where you're like, okay, like I definitely need to go back into a cut. But I also, it's just interesting because you sound just like all of us, how we all speak about ourselves. You know what I mean? And I think we all look at each other differently, eh, the way that other people look at us, if that makes sense. Like, I'm sure that, okay, all these men were shredded, sure, but I'm sure that's all your brain was focusing on. I'm sure there were other people that look normal and they could be looking at you and be thinking, oh, that guy is really fit. So, but
Yeah, I mean, no, totally. And again, I think the difference with me is like, I'm not beating myself up. I'm not like upset. I'm not like, oh, because I think a lot of people, when they say that about themselves, it's very emotional. For me, like, it's not actually emotional. It's just a matter of fact. Like, this is unacceptable. You have not been doing the things that you know you need to do. So get the fuck back on it and let's go. Like, to me, it's very unemotional. Like, I'm
okay,
not like sitting at night being like, oh my God, I look like shit and I
right.
feel like shit. I'm just like, this is the truth. This is the reality. Here's what I'm going to do to
Yeah.
fix it. That's never going to happen again. That's the
Were
end of the
you
story.
bigger than like what you want to, like, are you bigger now than what you want to be when you're at maintenance?
I am carrying more body fat than I would like to be right now. Like, and this is where it's going to be hard too, because I have been notorious for I can drop weight pretty easily, right? Like, I can cut my calories and drop weight, but whenever I do that, I end up just looking much smaller, which is what I don't want. So I'm gonna have to find like a balance, not only with high rocks training, but also with, I want to keep the level of muscle mass, and I just want to be able to reveal some of that muscle mass a bit more. And quite frankly,
Well,
like, I need to have better abs. I like, it is what it is. And like, I know I have said before, not that big of a deal, but like, it's just the truth. I need to be able to take my shirt off and feel more comfortable than what I did this past weekend. And it wasn't that I was uncomfortable. I was just like, fuck,
I get it.
I'm not fucking there. Like, you need to
I
be,
get it.
I
You know
don't
you could
want to
be at a
just be,
better. Yeah, you know
yeah, I
you
don't
could
want to
be
just
better.
be average. I want to be above average. I want to be like, fuck, this dude definitely fucking lifts. He's definitely fucking in shape. And
Right. Right.
that's just what I want. And I have felt like since I was 18 years old, I've always been able to do that. But now, not. So I need to fix
Yeah.
it. And so I will.
I
So
get it. I get it. Okay, what is your second lesson?
second one, for whatever reason, my back is fucked. Like, my lower back, I think
What?
the dude,
Join
yeah,
the club.
I know, dude. The bed I slept in, I think, was just, this is what getting 30 you look forward to, Soph. The bed I slept in
Which
was
is
like,
real, right? Like
dude, I
we
guess
age
so.
and things
Yeah,
start to
we're fucked, man. But for real, like I think it was like the bed I was sleeping in was fucked, and I think the plane ride didn't help, just being hunched
Mhm.
over on my computer the entire time. And so literally Monday and Tuesday, I barely could walk. Like I'm walking around like an old man, like limp, and I'm like hunched over and I can barely move. And today I went to see my physical therapist. She did some like dry needling, did some cupping, did some movement stuff. So feeling a little bit better, but it's kind of a pain in my ass because I'm supposed to be training for this high rocks. I'm supposed to be
Ooh,
really ramping up, and my cardio is supposed to be ramping up, and I got to run, and now I
and
can't
your back
fucking run,
kinda
and all
hurts.
these
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
And so,
yeah.
yeah, man. So I wanted to tell people like, shit happens sometimes and it's not the most ideal, but you got to control what you can control. Like on Monday, I still went and did legs. I had to do a leg extension, a leg curl. I did a single leg press, and I did I think calf raises was my fourth one. So I just did kind of like a makeshift leg day, and I did some stretching and mobility. Yesterday I did upper body, and I tried to walk as much as I could, but like it wasn't the same. But you still got to show up and you still got to stay consistent. And today, instead of going to do my regular cardio, I went and I saw my physical therapist, and we did some recovery stuff and some needling, and I'm going to be, getting my 8 to 10,000 steps. And so again, even the guy who's supposed to be like the fitness guy, number one, I just told you I didn't like how I looked, and number two, I got injured. So like this shit happens to me just like it happens to everybody else, man. Like I am not any different.
Man, what a rough trip.
I know,
No,
right? Should never went.
I mean, and like I guess with the cardio things, I'm assuming that you're gonna just still do what I mean, I know you said you did a leg day and a upper body day, but you can probably still incorporate some things, just not at the level that you normally would want to be training at. And hopefully you'll recover fast. I
I'm
mean, you
hoping.
should.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. It'll have. I was supposed to do a full high rocks tomorrow. I was supposed to run through this trainer at my gym. Him and he's doing the high rocks too. So we were gonna run through one, and I'm like, hey, bro, I can't fucking do it. But I don't know. I'm gonna try to do what I can. Like I might try to do the bike. I might try to do some sort of lighter intensity cardio, but it's gonna be
Yeah.
tough. Like I might do a
Yeah.
sled push or a sled pull. Like we'll see how I feel. But
True.
yeah, it's unfortunate. But like fuck, dude, it is what it is. Like nobody's. I always say nobody's playing at 100%. Like we all have shit that's going on. So it just is what it is. You got to make do. So
No, for sure. Speaking of dry needling, it was such a traumatic experience for me, honestly. I don't know. I did it a few times, and the second time my back just twitched really weird. I was like, I'm never doing that again. Like, I do not like it.
yeah,
Like, the
yeah,
first time
that
I did it was fine, but the last time it just like felt really weird when the needle came.
yeah,
When my PT put the needle in my back, I was like,
yeah.
oh hell no, I do
Yeah,
not
that was
want
my first time doing it today. That was my
What do you
first time
think?
doing it. I mean, it felt a little bit weird, but it wasn't like bad or
Weird.
painful or anything. It was like you said, it was like much muscle just twitching, like really weird.
Yeah, it's like a spasm. Like it's weird.
Uh huh. Uh huh. Yeah.
Also, England just scored, just
Scored.
so you know.
Nice.
We'll keep
Okay.
you
Wow.
posted.
All
We
right.
are at minute 58. No, sorry. What did I say? Did I say a minute 58? 58. Minute 58. We're at minute 58.
Minute 58.
I
Okay.
was like, what did I just say? So I will keep you posted. So if you look at me, thank you so much.
It's all good, dude.
But I'm glad that you had an eventful trip and that some lessons were learned,
There's always lessons
It's
to be learned
good.
in everything in life.
Yeah, awesome, dude. Well, you ready to
Rock and
get
roll.
started today?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So today we're going to be talking about how to eat and train like an athlete in honor of the World Cup happening right now and everyone talking about it. I was thinking this could be a cool topic. And then I kind of thought about it because you had made a post too. You know what's funny? Um, this was unplanned. I did not copy him, but Jordan just posted a podcast today about like a similar thing, like how to eat like
Yeah.
an athlete, I think, something like that. And I was like, oh,
Nice.
that is so funny. I guess I is thinking about it maybe because of the World Cup.
Yeah.
So funny coincidence there.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Cool.
Yeah. Should be a good one.
Yeah. Okay. So, question number one. From your understanding, what does a normal day for an athlete or a pro athlete usually look like?
I think the number one, and obviously I am not a professional athlete, so I don't know. That being said, I have like studied professional athletes and what they've done. Actually, I don't know if I ever said this in the podcast, but I actually used to coach a national champion women's hockey goalie. Her name
What?
is Katie. Yeah, yeah,
Hey,
she won the
that's
yeah,
cool.
dude. It was actually super. It was back in 2021. She won her like Stanley Cup for women. It was really cool. Yeah, she won it. She was like we were leading up to it. It was really cool. But yeah, so I think a lot of maybe I'll go maybe misconceptions of like what that might look like is you would be shocked at how much they recover and how much they eat. Like, yes, the working out is a part of it. Like, they have to work out their body. They have to do, and we can maybe touch on like specific different workout stuff that athletes may do. But I think a lot of people underestimate and don't realize how much an athlete has to focus on their recovery because of how much they're demanding of their body. Again, I've always said this on my podcast since day one is there's a certain amount of recoverability that goes around. So there's a certain level in if you think of like two charts side by side, there's a certain amount of stress you put on your body and there's a certain amount of recovery that your body has. You're never going to be able to for a long period of time do more work than what you can recover from. This is not how your body physically works. So they have to focus a lot of on recovery. So things like dry needling, things like massages, things like ice bath, things like sleep, which if you listen to any of the top athletes in the world, I think I saw both a video of Messi and Ronaldo and they were like sleep. Like I think it was I don't know how you say the guy's name, the guy from Norway, Haaland or
Alon?
Haaland. Yeah, Haaland. He was like, yeah, like sleep is the most important thing because like that's where your body recovers. So they overly focus on recovery, which if the best athletes in the world are doing that, we should probably do a better job of doing that as well. Even I just went to see my PT and she was like, remember, like you have to breathe. And I'm like, fuck, I know. And what she meant by that was like, you have to do diaphragmatic breathing to get your central nervous system calmed
Yeah.
down and get into a parasympathetic nervous system state because your muscles right now are so guarded that they're not going to relax and you're not going to feel better. So, but that's like a part of recovery. It's getting into parasympathetic nervous system state. So, I think that would be number one. And they do all that stuff throughout the day, not just like one time. And then number two is how much they eat. Because again, you're demanding a lot from your body. So you have to be able to fuel your body with a lot to be able to get what you need out of it. Like people are not out here eating 1,200 calories being an athlete. You like being a bodybuilder and prepping for a show that you could that's an athlete technically, but like that's a different kind of athlete than say a sports athlete where you have to be eating enough fuel to be able to do the things that you want to do. Like I saw a video recently actually I stitched it. I haven't put it out yet. I don't know if it'll do well. Maybe it will. Who knows? The Instagram algorithm nonetheless. It was this girl, so she was in great shape and she was like, remember, you can't do all of this. And she was like running and she was lifting and she was biking and she was hyroxing and she was like, you can't do all of this starving. It's like, no, you can't do all of that starving. You're going to get injured. Your body's going to break down on you. You're going to be exhausted. So I think eating and recovery, those are the two biggest things that athletes would do on a daily basis.
Do you feel like they do so much recovery because they also train so much?
It's like a chicken before the egg. It's like which one comes first because you're not going to be able to train that much if you don't recover. But like
Right.
the only reason you need to recover that much is because you train that much, right? Like I don't need to spend as much time recovering as Ronaldo because like I'm not doing what the fuck he does every day. But I should still probably recover more. So it's like that's what's gonna allow me to train more and feel better. So I think it's kind of both.
Yeah. Yeah. Going into specific nutrition things for athletes, what do you think their nutrition usually looks like? Other than we obviously you just said that they eat a lot. So do you think that means they usually are eating at maintenance? And like what does that usually look like in your opinion?
Yeah, I think I saw a video. I think I posted this on my Instagram story of Ronaldo, and it's funny. I've never. I don't. Again, before this World Cup, and even now, I'm not like the biggest soccer
Are you
guy.
like a new fan? I've seen you be watching some games.
I mean, yeah, they were on, so I'd watch them every now and then. But
It's
like,
good.
I'll probably try to watch the final. We'll see. But
It's Sunday.
yeah. Oh, is it okay? Cool.
Yeah, it's Sunday.
Yeah. So like, I saw a video of him, and he was like, "Yeah, like I try to eat as clean and healthy," but then he's like, Sometimes I have a burger. Sometimes that's not his accent. Howard's accent,
Yeah, I saw
Portuguese
this
accent.
movie. Listen, yeah, I
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
I
yeah. He
like
was like,
that.
he's like, sometimes I have a burger. Sometimes I stay up until 2 a.m. at the UFC fight. He's like, you got to live your life too, you know? And so it's like,
It's
he's
true.
arguably like one of the best athletes who has ever played in any sport. And so if he does that, like we can do that too. So, but again, it's a lot of consistency and I think repetitiveness with a lot of the same routines and the same actions. Like, again, I like the Cincinnati Bengals, and the quarterback is Joe Burrow, and so I watch a lot of Joe Burrow stuff, like his interviews and his and that sort of stuff. I find really interesting because, in my opinion, he's one of the best quarterbacks that is in the league right now, and he'll talk about like my routine. He's like, I'm asleep by 8:30. I'm eating when I wake up. This is what I'm eating every single day. So I think beyond eating at, yes, I think they're eating at maintenance, but again, their maintenance is very high because they're doing so much activity and they're able to recover so well. So I think their maintenance is much higher than what the average person's maintenance would be, which, side note to this, we signed somebody up recently. He used to be a defensive end for Texas A&M. That's a college, and they're a very good college football team. And he was like, yeah, dude, like when I was playing, I was like 300 pounds, like force feeding myself 6,000 calories a day to try to keep up. And then he's like, now I'm not. And like, I need to fucking lose weight because I'm not burn that many calories anymore.
Right.
So it was kind of interesting. But yeah, so their maintenance calories are much higher. And I just think they have a very structured routine, which is why I talk a lot about like eating the same foods every single day, having an eating schedule, having meal timing, getting that down. Because again, I just try to model successful people. That's really all I try to do. And so if they are very successful doing that, I think we can also model some of their behavior as well.
And isn't it funny how I feel like some people might be looking for like very unique things, like what is the one food that this athlete eats or the one thing that they do? And it probably is a lot of what you're saying, structure, consistency, and same the boring stuff. Did they just, God, this is like not a good time for me. I think they just scored. Did they score? No, they didn't. Okay, next question.
You know, it's
Sorry.
gonna be funny. People are gonna
What?
listen to this on Friday and be like, "Sophie, we already know the outcome." But
Yeah, I
you're
know. I know. Okay, next question. What about their workout routine?
I
Oh,
think
you know what I forgot to say? Sorry. You also are a big fan of, he passed away, but Kobe, right? He was in the, what was he? Did he do basketball?
he played
Yeah,
basketball,
he played
correct?
basketball. He played
Yeah,
basketball.
Kobe's
I know
Kobe's
of
always
Kobe
above me.
Bryant. Kobe Bryant, I just don't know what sport. Oh, that's right. He is. I don't know what sport
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm a huge Kobe fan. Yeah, love that guy. R.I.P. Yeah, so it's kind of funny, like there's a very well-known video of Kobe. It's funny, I was actually going to say that, so it's funny you mentioned this, but there's a very well-known video of Kobe where he's like, if I wake up at 8 a.m. and I train at 9, I'll train from 9 to 11, take a break, eat something, and maybe I'll train again from 5 to 7, right? He's like, I'll train 2 times a day. But then he's like, but what if you wake up at 4 and you train from 5 to 7, and then you train again from 9 to 11, and then you train again from 1 to 3, and then you train again from 4 to 6. He's like, I have just trained 2 times more, double than what you would have done in your day. And I think the best athletes, they train a lot. Like and again, within that, like in that clip, he would talk about like, and then I would go do the ice bath and I'd make sure I recover. And then I would do some other stuff. And then I would go lift weights and I would come back and I would take a nap. And then I would go do my basketball drills and I would come back. And so it's like I think their workouts are relentless. Like you have to be very consistent, and it also has to be very specific to, you have general strength. And so without going too in depth here, like for those people who do know this, which is a very small minority of the people because most people aren't trainers, but and quite frankly, even most trainers don't fucking know this. Like I guarantee, for those of you out there that don't coach with us, maybe you coach with somebody else, not saying this in a mean way, but just like ask your coach if they know what proper periodization is. Just ask if they know what periodization is. Most people don't even fucking know because they're just Instagram trainers who don't fucking know anything, to be honest with you. But it's just the truth. I mean, it's not even a diss. It's just the
Yeah.
reality of it.
Yeah, no, it's true.
But yeah.
What
So
is
like,
it, Eric? Tell us.
for example, like the periodization, this became popular, especially with like Olympic athletes, because if you're an Olympic athlete, you have to be very specific with what your training is for that specific thing. But you're only specific with that kind of training for a brief period of time, because most of the year you're training overall strength. Because if you're stronger, you'll be able to do everything else that much better. And then you kind of dial in on, let's say somebody trains an entire, whatever it is, 4 years for the Olympics. Maybe 3 years is mainly strength training, and then 1 year will be strength training and then very, very specific things. Not that they're not doing their specific things throughout, but hopefully you get my drift. It's periodization. You're attacking specific things at specific times. So I think training like an athlete, they'll probably go through periodizations where they have an in-season workout routine. They have an off-season workout routine. If they make the playoffs, they have a specific routine. And then also it's like different sports would then require different modalities of training. So like, for example, when I was in Mexico, I think there was 2 like football players that were staying at a resort near me because they were on the beach doing some very specific like football drills. And that's like, yeah, maybe they're going to go lift weights, but they're doing like stuff with their feet, speed work with their feet, work with their hands, right? So you do very specific training for like that style of sport that you are currently trying to play. And it's not that you don't do squats and do deadlifts and do bench press. You still do all of the basics. It's just then you would then work on other specific variables that would help you in your sport. So let's say, for example, a lot of football players and or basketball players have knee injuries because you have to like turn at a certain like soup on a dime. You have to stop, you have to turn your body, you have to be mobile. And a lot of people, if they don't do work like adductor work or hip strengthening work or core work or rotational core work, QL work, you're going to get more injured that way. So like you have to do maybe more of that sort of stuff than somebody who they just sit at a desk all day and they maybe don't have to do those things. It would still be beneficial for that person, but like you might not need to do it specifically as much as, let's say, a football player might need to. So that was a lot, but I think that's what I would say.
No, I was going to say, I mean, it's fair to say or to assume that most athletes are probably combining some sort of strength training with endurance cardio training. But everything you're saying kind of makes sense, and it's the way that I guess somewhat similar someone would get trained to by a coach. I mean, it depends on the season of life that you're in and whatever goals that you have and whatever it is that's happening in your life and what you do need to train for. So, like, if someone is bulking versus someone that's doing a cut, or someone that's wanting to work on their lower body more than their upper body, someone that's wanting to grow specific muscles. So similar to someone having a coach.
Yeah, 100%. And that's where I think just the personalization aspect comes into
Right.
play, where if somebody came to us and they're like, hey, I do want to train like an athlete. I want to be able to be more nimble on my feet. Or maybe they have kids and their kids play sports. And they're like, well, fuck, I want to be able to like run around with my kids and play these sports with my kids and you be able to help train them. It's like, all right, cool. Like we can help you be like train like an athlete, but you gotta know what comes along with that, right? So yeah.
What do you think are some of the habits outside of nutrition and um exercise routines that most athletes have in common?
So I've actually done quite, I find the top athletes in the world the most interesting people in the world. Like I think I love more than I even love watching the sport. Like, so for example, when I watch the Bengals, I'll watch the game, but like, to be honest with you, I like watching Joe Burrow after the game and just like seeing what he has to say. How does he say it? What does he focus on? Like that to me, I've always loved that. And I continue to love that because it really is the mental aspect that allows you to do the physical stuff. And so I think, and even like Kobe Bryant, for example, yes, Kobe was an amazing basketball player, but anybody who's ever even watched stuff about Kobe Bryant knows his mentality. He's a fucking psychopath. Or if you even take like the best coaches, like a Nick Saban or a Bill Belichick or a Phil Jackson, these best coaches, they all have specific mentalities about them. And I would say there's many. One of them I would say is every day is day one. So every day that somebody wakes up, the scoreboard is 0-0. And I think that's really important for both. If you had a shitty game. You wake up tomorrow and it's a brand new day. That doesn't matter at all whatsoever. It is a brand new day that you have to get better. If you crushed it and you just won the biggest game of your life, guess what? The next day starts something new. Like, for those people who know who Nick Saban is, he, in my opinion, one of the best college football coaches ever. There's a ton. So like, they would win the national championship. I could talk about this stuff all day. They would win the national championship, and it's like they worked all fucking year to do this one thing, and then they would win. He would go to the press conference, and he's like, I'm already 6 hours behind everybody else who had a chance to start recruiting for next year and planning for next year. And they're like,
My God.
what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you just won the national championship. And he's like, it's over. Like, it's done. I have to now move on to the next season. And so, like, that, I think we can take that as normal human beings who are like, no matter if you have a win, cool, that's all right. Like, celebrate the win. But next day, you're going to move on. Same thing with a loss. You didn't hit your calories or you missed a workout. That's fine. But the next day is a brand new day. You got to move on. So I think that would be the number one thing that I have seen in the most successful athletes. Number two, I think they are very selfish about their routines. They are unapologetically selfish about what time they wake up, what time they go to bed, what foods they eat, what they do on the weekends, the alcohol they drink or don't drink, the food they eat or don't eat. They're very, very selfish about their routine because they have to be in order to perform a certain way. And they don't really care if people like it or not or understand it or not. They're going to do what they know they need to do to be successful at whatever it is they want to be successful with. So I think that would be number two. Number three, outside of nutrition, sleep, workouts, would most likely be attention to detail. I think attention to detail would be a huge thing amongst people. And this means, so there's a viral video of Kobe one time. He was like, he had been out with an injury for 1 or 2 weeks or whatever it was. And like the first day back at practice, their team had like lost a couple of games and their practices were just like fucking shit. So he basically like took over the practice, like beat the shit out of everybody one-on-one, just like absolutely crushed them. And he was like, you guys are fucking soft. And that's why you fucking lost all these fucking games. And he was like, you practice like shit. You don't bring any fucking intensity to the game. You don't push yourself. You treat it like a practice and not like a game. So it's like very much attention to detail of what you're doing now is going to lead to those big wins or losses that you have. It's not about the one meal out that you go out to eat. It's about what did you do the other 6 days of the week? Let's be honest, you weren't tracking your calories as accurately as you should be. You weren't getting the steps you should be getting. Even if you did go out, like you didn't plan ahead for the meal. Like you win in the details, you win in the minutia of these things. And that's where I think people they don't think about it that way. They think it's like these big moments. It's not a big moment. It's an every single day thing.
Well, it's like consistency, right? Kind of even like us in coaching, what we talk about, like the consistency of like someone training 3 times a week for 2 years versus someone who's trained 5 days a week for 5 months and then quit and then restarts like a few months after. Like the same concept is that.
Yeah.
You know what's really interesting? Because I'm not really someone that's super into sports. I would say I like soccer, but I've never been a huge fan. And I hadn't really thought about it that way because I'm not gonna say like I've thought of sports as silly, but sometimes there's certain sports I'm like, what's the point of this? And then I was kind of thinking, like, kind of as I was preparing for this podcast, that it's like any successful person, like with business or really anything. It's not just the sport, but when you think about all the mental things that they have to go through, and even when you said about like Kobe and coming in with and like the players having that attitude, even that can impact, right? Like someone can have a bad like impression or negative mindset about themselves and then that can play into how they do in the game. So it's just like uh, it's a very cool thing to watch because I feel like sports teach you a lot about like discipline, consistency, hard work, like mindset. Like it's not just a sport. Like when you think about what the players have to go through and how they even get there too, like, it's pretty cool, it's pretty respectable.
Yeah, I think sports are the number one thing that like every person should do. It's the closest thing to real life as you could possibly get, and it teaches you. And this is also why I never was, I never will be. I am not a fan of people getting fucking 8th place trophies, because like you don't get a fucking 8th place trophy in life. You get your fucking ass kicked if you don't. If I don't fucking show up and I don't do great in my business, I don't get someone being like, "Oh, it's okay, Eric." Like, no,
Right.
I'm gonna fucking go out of business. Like, if you don't show up and you don't practice, and you don't learn how to have mental toughness and discipline, and you don't learn teamwork amongst other people, how to work with other people even if you don't like them, if you don't learn these skills, you're going to get your fucking ass kicked and you're not going to win. There is no 8th place trophy. Like, it's a
Yeah.
win or a lose. It is very black and white. And that's one of the reasons why I love sports so much is
Yeah.
it doesn't care. It doesn't care how hard you tried. You could try the hardest. You're not good enough. That's why you didn't fucking win. Okay? Like the people who are bitching about Messi, say whatever you. I don't even watch soccer, but I hear this all the time. Oh, the FIFA loves him. Whether they do or don't, if the other team won 6-1, they can't do anything about that. Like
Right.
you have to be undeniably good enough. Undeniably.
Right.
And that's how you win at life. It's how you win at sports. It's how you win at your relationship. You have to undeniably, if people aren't going to like me saying this, but it is what it is, you have to be undeniably the best partner to your partner. You have to show them every single day that you are respecting of them. You're supportive of them. You want them to win. You're doing everything you can to better yourself and better your relationship and your situation with each other. Like, it has to be undeniably great. And if you are not undeniably great, there is room for life to make the decision for where you end up. And to me, I just don't like that. So you have to be undeniably great, and that's what sports teaches.
Dude, and that nothing is handed to you. You look at, like, thinking about a World Cup example, France yesterday to Spain. I think France had not lost a single game, and they were like one of the strongest teams. And for some reason, yesterday was just not one of their strongest game. And like everyone thought France was gonna win, and like they didn't. So you know what I mean? Like, because nothing is handed to them either. So it's just interesting. Like, you know what we're just talking about? Like, they were so strong. And I think about any like a person that's maybe like super confident, they're really good, and then like all of a sudden, as soon as your consistency goes, like it's all you have.
That's what
Oh,
most
they
people
just
do.
scored. Sorry.
It's 2-0.
They just scored. Argentina just scored. They just
Oh,
tied.
1-1. Okay, let's go. Tied it up.
1-1.
Well, we're almost done, so we can watch.
People, by the way, I think people hate Argentina because they think that they don't call as many like
Penalties.
penalties and fuck, what's the word in English when they do something wrong and they get called out for it. Anyways,
Yellow card.
but what's the word? Faulty? I know in Spanish, but whatever they get called out, apparently people say. But like, there's an argument that they also say that whenever it doesn't happen for Argentina, people just don't talk about it. Anyways,
Yeah, probably. But even in that situation, like if they're good enough, they're gonna win. If they're not good
yeah,
enough, they're not gonna fucking win. Like,
yeah.
and by the way, and you know what the best part is? You know what the best part about this is? Let's
Uh-huh.
just say that FIFA is they're not calling as many penalties in Argentina, and that's true, and everybody's right. Okay, so what? You still have to be even that much better. If you want to win, you have to defeat all the odds, everything against you, and you have to go fucking win. So for who they play right now? They're playing England.
England.
For England, okay, they're playing Argentina, and it's fixed. Like they're not going to call as many penalties. Okay. You're just going to have to try that much harder, England. You're going to have to be that much better. You're going to have to make it undeniable that you are
Yeah,
better and you will win. Because
yeah,
again, in life, some people start on third base. Some people have rich parents. Some people have this. Some people already have a
right,
business.
exactly.
Some people
Yeah,
don't. Some people start on home plate. They have no money. They have no connections. They have no finances. But yet somehow those people still win, even when all the odds are stacked against them. So
the third example.
you're just going to have to
Yeah,
be that much better. If you want to win, if you want to be a fucking loser, then you can blame whatever you want to blame, and then you can be right. I always say this, like, people, because again, the identity thing, they want to be right. They want to be like, oh, I can't lose weight because of this, because of menopause, because of hypothyroidism. You can put whatever you want to put in here. You can be right. That's fine. But you're still going to be overweight and hate how you look. Or you could just say, I'm going to do whatever it fucking takes for me to reach my goals. I'm going to be that much better. I'm going to work that much harder, and I'm going to reach my goals. I put this on my Instagram story today, in fact, which is funny we're having this conversation. But I was thinking about this for myself a lot. So the question I put was, do you just want to reach your goals? Or are you truly willing to do whatever it takes to achieve them? Those are two different things. You wanting to reach your goals, that's nice. That's cool. Like, that's a good thing to say out loud. But are you actually willing to do whatever it takes to reach those goals? Those are two completely different things. And only you listening can decide for yourself how much you are actually willing to do to reach the goals that you have, which again, I think is what the mindset of an athlete teaches us.
So, from nutrition and exercise from athletes, what do you think are the two biggest things that us individuals who are not athletes can learn the most from that we can replicate?
You said with nutrition specifically or both workouts and
Both.
nutrition?
Or if you want to do one for nutrition and one for um exercise, we can do that.
Yeah, I think with nutrition, it really would be routine and the consistency of the same things. Because I think for all the athletes I've studied, they ate the same things at the same times every single day, before their game, after their game, before a workout, after a workout, recovering from stuff. Like, I think it's just the routine and like the monotonous consistency of it, I think would be number one for nutrition. And then for workouts, what would us normal people get from workouts? Yeah, funny. I think it was Halan, or how do you say his name? I think he said this. He was on the bike and he was like,
I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. But I saw a video of him. He was on the bike and he was like, he was doing the bike and he was riding. He was like, do I want to do this right now? No. Am I doing this right now? Yes. Because I know I need to, because I know what it's going to give to me, because I know that I need to do it to make sure I have the cardio to play the games that I want to play. He was like, I don't have to want to do it, but I can still do it. And so I think that would probably be for workouts, is even athletes who it's their entire job to work out and recover and be fit and do all these things, they don't want to do it, just like you don't want to do it, but they still do it. And that means you can still do it too.
I think it's Holland.
Holland.
Looking it up. I mean, to be fair, they are being paid to do it, so we can't really compare ourselves to that. But their whole career depends on it.
Time out.
What?
Time out.
What?
I hear what you're saying. You're also getting paid to do it. And your entire life depends on it as well. Because if you want to live till you're 70, 80, 90, if you want to have a high quality of life, if you want to be able to see your grandkids grow up and take the trips that you want to take and have the experiences you want to experience, you get paid, just not in monetary value. I would argue you get paid in something much more valuable than monetary value, because you get paid in life experience.
A good point. That's actually a really good way to think about it. And also, to be fair, we don't need to be training. Wait, hold on. Oh my God, another goal. Argentina scored again. Holy shit. To be fair, us normal humans, like, we don't need that much as an athlete does either. So, like, if an athlete can train at the level that they can and knowing that they don't want to do it either because they're just regular people, I agree. I feel like that's something that we can learn from too. And it's important to say that, like, yes, we are getting paid. I didn't think about it. Yeah, like, just in health. Forgot my my parents
No,
are
you're
going.
good. That's awesome. And you know, I'll kind of end the podcast, or I don't know how many questions we have left, but I'll kind of come full circle in the podcast a little bit, where competition. Like I said earlier, I looked around at the other people at this resort, at the other men at the resort, and I was like, I don't compare to these people. I'm not good enough right now. And it's just like sports. You might not be good enough right now, but that doesn't mean you can't get better. And also, when people are, where my head went as an athlete, I didn't do anything crazy, but like I like sports and I was an athlete. My head went to like, well, fuck, if Holland's on the bike doing this and I'm not, he's gonna fucking beat me. So I gotta fucking do this too. So there's like that competitiveness, and there's it is a competition. Life is a competition. Whether you think it is or not, whether it sounds good to you or not, life is a competition. And there's other people who are competing for your job. There's other people who are competing for your spouse. There's other people who are competing for the car that you want, the life that you want, the vacations you want to take. all of this is a competition. Life is a competition. And I think the sooner you can realize that and not like compare yourself to other people in a negative way, but like, I got to work harder. I got to push myself more. I got to make sure I'm on top of my game to be able to compete and get the stuff that I want. So you can look at it too from, you don't want to go work out? Like, and this is, again, people are going to get mad at me for this, but oh well. Somebody just signed up for coaching recently, and she said something that I have said before, and it was funny because we both agreed. I was like, or she said, I know I need to lose some weight. And to be honest with you, I know a lot of people get divorced and then they lose all the weight. And she was like, I don't want to do that. Like, I want to get in. If I truly respect my spouse, I should be able to get in shape. I should be able to want them to have a healthy body, not just a sexy body or whatever, but like a healthy body to live as long as I possibly can, to have the most energy I can for them. Because like this life is a competition. So, you know, she used that to her advantage to want to sign up and want to create change. And it's like, there's a saying, there's a phrase, use whatever you got. So like whatever it is that you have that you can use for something positive, I don't care. Use what you got to make some sort of positive action change in your life and use it as competition, because we are in a competition. Whether, like, I'll use business. People sign up with us all the time and they're like, I'll be honest, man, like there's a lot of, you know, fitness people out there making videos and they have their coaching programs and stuff, but they're like, I sign up with you because of X, Y, and Z, because you're no bullshit, because you're real, because you don't sugarcoat things. And so like, am I just going to be naive that there's other fitness influencers, coaches out there who like, if we don't do a good job, I'm going to lose to them. If we don't have a great service, I am going to lose my business to them. It is what it is. That's just the reality of it. So that's why we train so much. That's why we have our weekly team meetings. That's why we're always trying to improve our app and our community and our coaching experience. Like, that's why we're like, and I know we got to hop off here, but I said on our live Q&A in the clubhouse, full transparency and responsibility, I have been a very poor leader and owner of my clubhouse community in the past, since 2026, since the start of the year. Just very honest, it's black and white. I have not shown up like I need to. I've been in there and I've been commenting on posts, but I haven't been posting myself. I haven't been creating content for it. I have not been very intentional about curating a community that I am proud of, that our members are proud of, that people can be engaged with. And that's 100% my fault. There's no other way around it. It's all on me. And so the reason I say this is because I know I need to get better at that, because if I do not, I'm going to lose. And so people in the clubhouse, as they're listening to this, the past couple days, I've been making more posts. I've been creating more content. I've been doing specific things to reward certain behavior that I want inside of the clubhouse. I've been much more intentional about making the clubhouse community and group as good as I possibly can. And I just wasn't doing that in the first half of the year. And again, that's 100% a mistake on my part, and it's nobody else's fault but my own. But the reason I'm saying this is because I have flaws too. Like, maybe you listening, you haven't been tracking your nutrition. You fucking know it. Maybe you haven't been maybe you've been working out, but like no real plan. You haven't been pushing yourself. That's why you're not seeing the changes in your body you want to see. Like, we make mistakes, man. We have flaws. We can't be holding all of the plates at once and be perfect. Some of them are going to fall sometimes. And that was one of the plates that fell for me. Now, I was doing really well in other areas, but I wasn't doing well in this area. So like, now I'm going to shift my focus a bit, and I'm going to really improve this one thing. And so it's just like, you have to use all of this stuff to get better. You don't use it to like beat yourself up and talk down about yourself and say, well, I guess this isn't going to work. Well, I guess my clubhouse, it's just not a good thing. And it's just, this is how it's going to be. No, I'm going to do whatever it takes to make it the best that I possibly can. And that's the bottom line. That's what we all have to do. And that's what I think we can take from athletes' mindsets.
Dude, I feel like it's a really good lesson though, because like whenever something bad happens, we can also correct the path and the actions that we're taking, which kind of turning it back to someone that maybe is in a calorie deficit or they're in their fitness journey. Just because they had a bad weekend, it doesn't mean that they're just like, oh, whatever, like I'm just gonna quit, right? Like you self correct, you self correct your actions. I think is a really good lesson. Also, number two, I wanted to talk about because you we had talked about like what things we can learn from athletes, and I have kind of a personal story. So I'm thinking about how they do a lot of recovery, and I learned this from Marcelo last weekend because he actually used to play football when he was in high school, and like he was telling me like, oh, you should do like the sauna sometimes, like whenever you're super tired. So this weekend, I had a couple of days there where I was walking more than I'm normally walking. Like I normally do walk a lot, but not in short periods of times, if that makes sense. So I was just very unwell and very tired. And I was doing like I was like, let me focus on recovery. Let me do the sauna. Let me make sure I'm getting my sleep. Like let me make sure that my nutrition's on point. And it's just something that I was thinking about that I was like, oh, I feel like I don't normally associate the two things together, like being really, really tired from a lot of movement to trying to recover from that. Like I kind of just keep going, if that makes sense. So I don't know, just something that I feel like people could benefit from.
Yeah, that's awesome. I hope you're feeling better.
Yeah.
I
Great.
I think to the last thing I'll say on that is, and again, this was a Kobe Bryant thing. They
Yeah.
asked him. I'll ask you. Do you love to win and love to succeed, or do you hate to fail?
Obviously I love to win.
Okay, so you love to win more than it's like I hate to fail.
Right. Yes.
Okay. You know what his answer was? His answer was neither. And they were like, "What do you mean? You have to like one it's like one or the other." And he's like, "No, no, no. I don't look at it as I win or I lose because it's all just learning to get better. Because
Yeah.
if I
Yeah.
fail at something, I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at it and I'm going to say, well, why didn't we win that game? Why did I miss that shot?" And then
Right.
he's going to take that information and get better. And then vice versa, if he wins, he's going to say, okay, what did I do well? What didn't I do well but still got away with that I need to fix next time? And then he said, as opposed to being driven by emotion either way, he was like, I'm driven by just doing it to the best of my ability and then learning from it. So he's like, I'm neither. I just want to learn. And
Mm,
so,
good perspective. Damn, I
yeah.
didn't even think about it that way. That is why he was one of the best.
But this is why,
Yeah.
even if you're not into like a lot of sports and stuff, like the mindset of athletes it's just super like they're the most successful people at their craft at what they do. Like think about how many people in the world play soccer. So if I'm gonna go watch a Ronaldo video, I don't care what you think of the guy. He's one of the best that's ever played soccer ever. I can probably learn something from him. Like it just the mindsets are awesome, man. So
Hmm. Cool. It's funny. I had all these questions, but I feel like the pod was more like a natural conversation today.
yeah,
Is there anything
I think it
else
was good.
that we haven't covered yet that you wanted to talk about on athletes?
Not really. I would just say for people listening, I would take the athlete mentality in all areas of your life. So that's with fitness, that's with nutrition, that's with recovery, that's with how you approach your job, that's with how you approach like I've said this before in the podcast, but yesterday I was walking out of the gym and as I was walking out, there was a piece of trash on the floor. And so it was right in front of me. So I picked it up and I put it in the trash can. And the person at the front desk was like, "Did you drop that?" I was like, "No, it was sitting there." You knew it was sitting there too because you didn't fucking pick it up. But it's like, to me, that mentality of it's my responsibility, it's right in front of me. It's my responsibility. This is my gym that I go to. I don't own the fucking gym, but like, it's my gym. I want the gym to be clean. I want people in the gym to pick up after themselves. I want people in the gym to keep the things clean. It's not fucking the janitor's job to keep it clean. It's my job to keep it clean because it's where I fucking go. So I just think like in all areas of your life, we talked about competition. Whether you like it or not, the job that you have, other people want that job. You know who else? You know who wants your job? AI. AI wants your fucking job really bad right now. Dude, I'm 100% serious. And by
Yes.
the way, you keep fucking off at your job, you keep doing the bare minimum, you keep not going above and beyond, you're gonna lose your fucking job because this is a competition. If the business owner feels like AI can do this better, they're gonna fucking use AI because what do? They want to win. They want to win. So like you got to take these mentalities and these mindsets and these consistency and these habits and these routines and put them into all areas of your life. And that's what I want for you. Like I don't just want you to lose weight. I don't just want you to build muscle. Yes, those things are great, but I want you to be successful and I want you to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and say, "Fuck, I'm a bad motherfucker and I really do stay on my shit." And like I know it. Like I fucking know it. I know I'm doing all that I can do to improve every area of my life. So take that, run with it. And if you want help doing that, you can sign up for our 8-week challenge. So you can click the link in the show notes of the podcast. And I mean, I'm serious. Like, this is how I think. This is how all the coaches and the team think. Like, this is how we think. Like, this is who we are. So if this resonates with you and you want someone helping kind of guide you and lead you, I'll be very frank with you. I wish there's a few people in my life that I think could maybe kind of resonate with me on this, but like I wish I had more people that are like fucking psychopathic like me, that were just like fucking guiding me and like was like, hey, here's what the fuck we're doing. And I do, like, all of our coaches and stuff, but like I think I'm on like a different level sometimes. And so it's like, you know, if this kind of stuff resonates with you and you're like, hey, I want somebody who's like me, who thinks like me, who's going to push me, who's going to raise my standards, that's what we do. It's not just here's your calories and macros and go have fun. Like, we want to make you into a fucking winner. And that's what we try to do every single day. So you can click the link in the show notes of the podcast below to learn more about our coaching, take the next steps. This is what we do. We would love to help you out. So
Period. With that being said, Argentina won, by the way, just so you know. So
it's
people can
over.
talk their shit and they won against
Damn.
England, which is also very impressive.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. They're probably going to win again, dude. Did Messi score?
that'd be crazy because I don't know who scored, but I know they scored 2-1. It was so cute. He was celebrating. Oh, he's so cute. People talk their shit. He's just so cute. He's like on the floor celebrating. Like, I'm like, oh, like, he's so proud. I don't know. People talk shit, and I
People
don't know. It
hate
is
him.
crazy. You know what's crazy? Some of these top players like Ronaldo, Messi, they're old as fuck. Usually they're not playing like that old. And so sometimes like I'm like, wait, why are they playing? I'm like, oh yeah, because they're the best. So even though they're old, they're still playing. But this is his last World Cup. So I mean, that'd be pretty cool. But I mean,
Yeah.
they won last time too. So
Yeah.
that's kind of
It's
crazy.
crazy.
So I was sad for Ronaldo because,
Me
I was so
too.
sad for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, sad for him.
I like that guy. He's
And
really cool.
yeah,
So
like Mbappé too from France, like that was his last one. So a lot of these
yeah.
like stars,
Yeah.
they're done.
You have to
Anyway,
have new stars. You have to have
yeah,
new stars. People got to rise up because they're competitive and they will win. So
yeah,
cool,
for
guys.
sure.
Well, all right. We appreciate you guys listening. Again, for the raffle, go comment on the post. Comment someone who should listen to the podcast, Eric Roberts Fitness Pod, I think, or podcasts, or just type in Eric Roberts Fitness Podcast. It'll
You have
come
to
up.
follow. We didn't even say that they have to follow too, but I assume they know that.
If you don't follow, then what the fuck, man? You're missing out. So, yes, please follow, please comment, and yeah, we'll pick one winner next week. All right, guys, have a great weekend, and we'll chat soon.
Cool.